Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We all know golf's got its quirks, right? Today we're diving deep into the ancient, outdated, and downright bizarre golf rules of the past. So buckle up, grab your clubs, or don't, some of these rules won't even let you touch them. And get ready to discover some golfing history. And hey, while you're at it, give that subscribe button a tap and ring the bell. You don't want to miss out on more amazing golf content. Picture this. It's 1744, you're strolling down the fairway, well, more like fair sheep pasture, and you've just holed out. What's next? You plonk your ball down right there next to the hole and tee off for the next one. No designated tee boxes back in the day. Just pure, unadulterated chaos. Can you imagine trying to hit a drive with someone putting out right next to you? Absolute carnage. Thankfully, as the game evolved, so did the rules, and eventually someone had the bright idea to introduce tee boxes. Thank goodness for that, eh? Imagine the pace of play if we were still teeing off from beside the previous green. Imagine shanking your drive into the cabbage, only to have to then stand there facing the hole and dramatically fling the ball over your shoulder like you're trying to ward off bad luck. From 1908, this was the official way to take a drop. Thankfully, common sense and perhaps a few sore shoulders prevailed. And in 1984, the USGA adopted the current drop method, which is a tad less theatrical. Back in the day, according to the Burnt Island Rules of 1828, if your ball found itself in a hazard so dreadful that you couldn't play it, your opponent had the right to simply claim it as their own and play it from there. Thankfully, the rules have since been updated to be a bit fairer. This rule from the St. Andrews Rules of 1812 is absolutely wild. Back then, if your ball accidentally beaned your opponent, or even worse, their caddy, you were awarded the hole. Thankfully, this rule didn't last long. Today, we can enjoy the game without the fear of accidental assault. Well, at least not from flying golf balls. The My Ball Landed in Poop rule. Back in 1776, if you were playing the Bruntsfield Links and your ball landed in human ordure, cow dung, or any such nuisance, you were allowed to fish your ball out, give it a good wipe, and play on with a one-stroke penalty. Back in 1988, borrowing a club came with a catch. If you were kind enough to lend a club to a fellow golfer, they were then obligated to use that club for the rest of the round. Thankfully, this rule was quickly amended. Today we can borrow and lend clubs freely without fear of being stuck with a club that doesn't suit our game. Back in the 1770s, the Society of Golfers in and about Edinburgh at Bruntsfield Links had some interesting rules regarding caddies. Members were forbidden from paying their caddies more than a penny per round, and were also prohibited from giving away any old golf balls. Apparently handing down your old scuffed-up balls was a serious offense, punishable by a hefty fine. In 1956, if your ball was nestled in a pile of leaves, twigs, and other debris, you couldn't touch it to check for any identifying marks. You were basically left to guess, and if you guessed wrong, well, tough luck. Thankfully, this rule was eventually amended to be more sensible. In 1783, the Society of Golfers in Aberdeen, Scotland, included a rule addressing canine interference. If a stray dog made off with your ball, you were allowed to replace it and drop it as close as possible to where Fido had absconded with your property. No penalty, no drama, just a free drop courtesy of man's best friend. So there you have it, folks. A glimpse into the wacky world of old golf rules. From teeing off next to the hole to dodging errant shots aimed at caddies, the game has certainly come a long way. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane and learned a thing or two about the evolution of golf, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more amazing golf content. Thanks for watching.